Hello and welcome to ComSpark Magazine interview series. I'm Dave Hammond with Parallel Technologies, and we're partnering with ComSpark Magazine for a series of interviews. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Randy Smith, CIO of Clark Schafer Hackett. So Randy, thank you for taking the time.
Hey, good morning, Dave. Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So we'll start this one with the softball. So Randy, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your role and responsibilities with Clark Schafer Hackett.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see a little bit about myself. I've been in the IT field since 2000. I'm kind of dating myself a little bit. After spending a bit of time in the military, I decided to kind of jump into the IT world and have been in the Cincinnati area pretty much my entire career. Started in desktop support, like so many others in this profession, worked my way up, network administration, network engineering, consulting, and then kind of got into more of the management side of the house. And have been doing management really for the past almost 15 years, honestly. My current role is CIO for Clark Schafer Hackett. We're a public accounting firm, rather large public accounting firm here in the Ohio region. Responsibilities include pretty much anything to do with technology, from cybersecurity to technology implementation, support, setting strategy, etc.
So everything that people expect just to work.
That's right. Yeah, we've got to keep the lights on first and foremost, right? I think beyond that, it's about how do we get more efficient? How do we get more effective? How do we empower our team at Clark Schafer Hackett to service our clients?
Perfect. Thanks for that review. So, Randy, what kind of technologies or investments has the firm made or looking to make? And to dovetail on that, what kind of expectations have been realized or expected to be realized by those investments? And has there been any sort of anticipated results that weren't expected?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dave. Clark Schafer Hackett invests pretty heavily in technology. It's one of our biggest expenses, as you might imagine. There's a lot of tools that go into delivering the services that we provide clients. There's been a lot of investment, honestly, over the last year. As I kind of think back, one of the big ones is a new workflow solution. So we partner with one of our long-term partners, Walters Kluwer, and their CCH platform for a new workflow solution. It's now called CCH Workflow. It used to be called XCM. For those in the accounting space, they'll certainly recognize it. But really trying to find a tool that was flexible enough to meet the needs of the firm for tax, audit, outsourced accounting, consulting, etc., was difficult. We've looked at a lot of different tools, and really the CCH Workflow product was the one that best met that need. It's a huge undertaking to move all of these different service lines in the firm into one workflow tool. So it's actually still somewhat ongoing. We've certainly got the majority of the firm, the majority of our service groups into that platform now, but it's still ongoing. And ultimately, at the end of the day, when this is done, the whole ideal is just to increase transparency around what work is in flight, what is the current status of that work, who's working on it, and then from a staff standpoint, are they under or overutilized?
Yeah.
Who's available? Should a new project come up? Those types of things, right? And just looking to be, again, more efficient in how we staff jobs and utilize our employees and service our clients. Other investments, we've invested in a new invoicing and payment collection system over the past year, a platform called Iowyn. I'm gonna throw a spelling out there just so everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's AIWYN. They're a startup firm that started as a Anduin and recently rebranded. But really, they're focused on this, public accounting professional services space, looking at firms that maybe haven't digitized their payment collections and invoicing processes just yet. Clark Schafer Hackett really hadn't put a lot of focus on that. Frankly, our clients weren't asking us to. As everything else around us keeps modernizing, right? We have to figure out a way to meet all of our clients where they are. And some of them were certainly looking for a way to pay a bill outside of a check. So Iowan certainly helped us do that. We're now able to send invoices via email. The email includes a link. You click the link, the client goes directly to a payment portal that Iowan is hosting for us, gives them the option to pay with a credit card, an ACH, or a debit card, gives them the option to print the invoice if they prefer to actually print it off, mail us a check that way. And truly the investment, I think, is paying off there. We're seeing some good adoption of that digital payment system, and the feedback we're getting from our clients has been very positive. We'll be pushing that out to more clients here in the very near future.
That's perfect. Yeah, you mentioned efficiency is number one, but ultimately customer experience, which is going to be huge. You're going to have return customers, which is great. So, Randy, of all the technologies and investments, which one has kind of brought the most value? And can you explain why?
So I think of the investments we've made recently, a lot of them honestly are still kind of underway. Those projects are still in flight, so we haven't realized the full value of them. For instance, the workflow system, we need to get all of our service groups on it before we really see the full value of it. I think the payment collection system, I mentioned Iowan, that's probably the one we've seen the best or most value to date, simply because we're able to digitize that payment process, collect on invoices, and just really kind of, pull that timeline in. And I think anytime that you can, increase cash flow, reduce the amount of time to collect on invoices, it's a good thing from a business perspective.
Yeah. So, Randy, what is the main focus of your IT organization for the next 12 months? And then if we can extend that, what's that going to look like for the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh man, let's see. So over the next 12 months, our focus is really on cultivating a data-driven culture. That's kind of a buzzword, I know, but we want our firm to know more about our data, to trust our data, and to talk about the data in a more meaningful way. And I think from a longer term standpoint, our firm is growing. We're growing pretty rapidly. The IT team, honestly, is the same size today as it was when I joined the firm 6 years ago. So we're a small shop. We've got 13 staff in IT. So I could see longer term, over the next 3 to 5 years, the firm is going to continue to grow. The IT team at Clark Schafer Hackett is going to grow. And we're going to start focusing on more custom developed applications. We've already identified needs within the firm that there just isn't software off the shelf that's available to meet those needs. So we need to do more around custom development. We've also identified needs to do more integration between different business critical systems, and then increasing automation for repetitive tasks. We need to also be able to leverage data in ways we just can't today.
So, Randy, last question here is, what advice would you give someone who is just beginning the IT road mapping process?
Yeah, Dave, road mapping is an important process. I'd say if you're looking to build a 12-month roadmap, it's a rather straightforward process, right? The ideal is, start with compliance. What do you absolutely have to do to meet legal requirements, contractual agreements, those types of things? Get those on your calendar first. Start speaking with different leaders across the firm, across your organization, making sure that you understand what their pain points are, address those pain points. And then I think it's also important to understand your organization's strategic plan and to make sure that whatever's on your roadmap aligns with that strategic plan. I think if you're looking at a more future roadmap, say 3 to 5 years out, that's a little bit more difficult. My personal experience is it's best to bring somebody in that has done that before, especially if it's your first time doing a long-term roadmap like that. I use IT Research Group. I've been a member of the IT Research Group for several years now, and they've got analysts that have blueprints specifically for that road mapping process.
Yeah. One thing you mentioned there is, in the road mapping process, it's important for you to choose dates and that date not to choose you, so that you're prepared for it.
Yes.
we see it far too often that people are caught off guard. So that to your point, the road mapping it's critical for business. So Randy, thanks for joining today. And if you want to see more, please visit comspark.tech for additional interviews. So Randy, thanks so much.
Thanks, Dave.